Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. As you may have known or may not have known, I was away last week, so I came back to a bunch of beautiful carnivorous plants. Everything did really well in the week I was gone, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick tour of my carnivorous plants here in the greenhouse. So these are all tropical carnivorous plants. We're going to start with the Lowland Chamber here, and it's quite a warm day today. So it is already, it's 9:30 in the morning, and the temperature on this guy is already at 99 degrees and venting. I just opened this up just so we can have a look in here. These guys like it hot, so they get it really hot and they're just loving it in here. So here's a hybrid that's just opening up. My Ampullaria is getting some really nice pictures on it. I'm gonna slide the clipata there. Some really big pictures on it, like good size for Ampullaria. My Truncata is finally doing something and throwing some nice pictures off. My clipata there is doing nicely. I have a Veitchii in here. My Bical has thrown its biggest picture yet. It's loving the nice light. I put my Phasiliana in here. It usually comes out for the daytime, but it's in there for now anyways. My Rafflesiana is doing wonderful. It's getting really big. Lots of pictures on it in here. There's at least 4 or 5 that are the size of the palm of your hand. There's a couple back there, and lots more growing. So this is doing really well, and it loves it nice and hot. You can see the humidity there that fills the chamber when needed. Now let's move down here. This is the other end of the spectrum. This is my Ultra Highland Chamber. It is currently, let's see if I can see it there, 66 degrees. And my Velosas are in here. This will get up to about 70 during the day, 75 max. I think the thing is set to 73, so it keeps it cool after that. Nighttime lows in here are down around the 45 Fahrenheit mark. Works out to about 7 or 8 Celsius. And we have a bunch of just little Velosas in here. So they're all doing well. There's 3 in that pot, 1 in that pot, 1 in that pot, 2, 4, and 1. I've been keeping some wet sphagnum moss in here as well, just to keep the humidity a little higher. And for the most part, I give it a bit of fresh air just by keeping the block of wood here. It keeps it open a bit. And the light, which is on a timer, it'll go off soon, but it just gives it a few extra hours in the morning and a few extra hours in the evening. So, what else do we have? Let's start with the actual greenhouse now. It's really bright in here. The sun's really coming out. Greenhouse is currently 95% humidity and 78 degrees. And we're just going to do this really quickly. So my Miranda, which a lot of the pictures are down there, is doing quite well. It's got some new uppers coming on it right here, and another one just popped over there. The vine's up nicely right up to there. The other vine is sort of heading up that way now and basically hit the roof up there. So it's doing quite well. Hamada Cross Platychilla is doing nicely. My little tiny Lamii, on hot days like today, I'm going to actually throw it in the Velosa chamber, so it only has a daytime high of 75 degrees instead of 85 degrees. A few other hybrids and seedlings up there doing nicely. A tray of a little bit less sun-loving ones, and they're doing well. My Hamada Cross, or my Ventricosa Cross Hamada cuttings back there, they're doing okay. They have some little nubbins starting. Mira, Sergioensis, Pelada, Dubia, a couple Inermis, Densiflora, Diana, Singulana, and Cercilia. Platychilla there hanging. He doesn't like the sun too much. Some Mizume seedlings. They're getting a good size. That's a 4-inch pot. So they're if you set that one in the middle, it would be a good 2 or 3 inches in the pot. What else do we have? This guy's growing like crazy, although not picturing much. This is my Cebuensis. The lowers get some pictures on it, but as it vines up, I can't seem to get any pictures on the uppers here. We do have a flower stalk coming, so it's a boy. I put my, what is this guy? Sanguinea down here. He was just hanging up at the roof, and it was just getting a little bit warm for him, and he was hitting the roof. Ventricosas picturing like crazy, going up there. I actually cut a few flower stalks off it this year. My Ventrata, which goes way up there, has got some bloom spikes on it. It's turns out to be a female, so that's kind of nice. The Spectabilis, which goes from the floor up, it's about the 5-foot mark now. Lots of pictures down below here, but the uppers are starting to fade. Hopefully a new flush comes in. Burbigiae Edwardsiana cross, Bongso, Jacquelineae, 2 different picture types. I don't know how the backlighting is going to be. One green, one red. My Heliamphoras, we have 1 spike out this time. I didn't try to pollinate it, I just didn't have time, but it's looking good. Other Helias are doing pretty good. There's a few that the pictures are almost dying as fast as they're coming out, and they're only left with like 2 or 3 on the plant. I recently decided that maybe those ones didn't quite have enough moisture, which is why the pictures were drying out, so I put a couple in some sphagnum moss rich media as opposed to peat moss rich media. Hopefully it'll help. These guys down here are a little bit more of the shade loving ones, although they're in bright morning sun right now. They miss the afternoon. A lot of hamadas in here. I've kept the tray, the clear plastic tray in the bottom of this one just to keep it a little bit moister. I'm using the paper towel trick, so if I was to water and there's any water in the bottom of the tray here, it does slowly wick itself out, so they're not sitting in water for more than a few hours. The hamada pictures, I don't know why, but they became a little bit twisted and contorted, so hopefully that'll straighten out with a little bit more moisture and light. The pinguiculas down here are doing awesome. The large, what do you call it? Pinguicula gigantica, I'm going to say, is flowering, so that's nice. And the king sundews are looking awesome. Really, really nice here. They get the morning sun as well. No flowers on them yet, but they have good good leaf spans. Each leaf is probably 18 inches in either direction if I was to spread them all out. Some of my seedlings here getting some morning sun. This tray here has a lot of the more sun-loving stuff in it. Leonardoi, Titaliensis, McFarlanei has just got a new picture. Ephipiata, Moluensis, Pallada, Attenburyi, Raja, Edwardsiana. Big leaf jumps on those guys, they're doing well. This is my Dorman's top number 2. He's finally doing something now that the weather was warmed up. Burbigiaes, they're doing nice, they got some good leaf jumps on them. Mikei, what do we got here? Tentaculata, Glabratas over there. This guy is a Diatas. He's got a couple nice basil shoots on him now coming out. Jamban's got some nice pictures coming out on him. Tenuous up there. Spatulata, a few new pictures coming out on it. Rob Cantley, let me just bring this guy down. He is so turning into one of my favorite plants. Now, I got him from Hawaiian Botanicals, and they had him for years, and he was fairly little when I got him. Since I've got him, all his leaves have these 3 leaves here. You got 1, 2, 3, and it's just huge. The misting system just kicked on. The misting system has been doing wonderful these days. in the hot weather. The fogger's down there, and then the mist comes from above at the same time. So we'll let it ride its course here. It's going to be a little bit loud, but I'm just going to back you up so you can see the misting system in action here. It's nice because it can run all day, and it keeps the everything stays relatively dry. So you can see the mist falling as well as the fogger fogging. So this time of day it's really easy to keep up. In the hotter part of the day it runs for a little bit longer and a little bit more often. But once it's stopped and we go back over there, you'll see that everything is still relatively dry, which is the goal. You don't need everything soaking wet all the time. You just need everything nice and humid. So it should go off soon. Remember, it's set to 95%, and when the humidity or when the temperature rises, as it's doing quite quickly right now, the humidity is going to drop. You'll find that is even more of a swing in a smaller, like a terrarium or an aquarium. When your aquarium heats up, your terrarium heats up, the humidity just plummets. So that is why we need the humidity going all the time, just checking on it. So now it's back up to 95%, and we can continue talking here. So yeah, a good leaf jump on the Rob Cantley eye anyways. I'm just pulling down another one here. This is my Macrophylla. Again, nice leaf jump coming out, so hopefully that will be nice. What else do we got? Pitopangii is looking really nice. And this is a couple Lowy eyes. They're looking good as well. Really enjoying the brightness up there. So a lot of these ones are hanging really bright up there. Loving it. They hang up there all day long. But anyways, there is a quick tour of some of my carnivorous plants. I'm just having a look to see if we missed anything else. I don't think... Oh, we did. We're going over here. The Cephalotus. So the Cephalotus are on the south wall. They're always on the south wall. They get the most sun, the hottest sun, and they're in sort of a drip tray as well. They have this little system on that if it's too wet in there, the paper towel will wick the water back out. I have a couple bloom spikes for the first time, so that's kind of cool on that pot there. Everything's doing quite well. The one that went into spike came out in leaf instead of pitcher. It was really interesting, because like the one behind it stayed in... I don't usually get many non-carnivorous leaves, but that one just came out in leaf and then decided to throw out some flowers. Here is the other tray of them here, all doing quite well. A Bonita Sundew, and here's another little tray of my Sundews, mainly Alice Sundews in there. But anyways, there's my Utricularia. It's got a spike on it. Spike goes up to there. Pissed myself off because I bumped the bud and broke off the biggest bud that was about to go into bloom, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that. But anyways, now I think that is a complete update on my carnivorous plants for you. At least a quick little tour of it. I hope you liked this video, and if you wanted to stay updated on these guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.